Marcus drives a BMW, wears designer suits, lives in luxury apartment downtown, earns $123,000 annually. Last month, overdrafted his account buying groceries, has $417 in savings, one emergency away from financial collapse. Sarah drives a 10-year Honda, shops at Target, lives in modest suburb, earns $62,000 annually. Last month, invested $2,300, has $47,000 in emergency fund, could lose her job tomorrow and survive 6 months easily. Marcus looks rich, Sarah looks normal. Marcus is broke, Sarah is wealthy. 7 signs reveal who's actually broke versus who's building real wealth. Most people making 6 figures have at least 5 of these signs and don't even realize they're financially destroyed. Today, the 7 warning signs you're secretly broke even if your income says otherwise. Because looking wealthy and being wealthy are completely opposite things. Welcome to the Wealth Mind, where we expose financial reality behind appearances. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. This includes people earning 6 figures, driving luxury cars, posting success on Instagram. The new poverty doesn't look poor. It wears expensive clothes, drives nice cars, eats at trendy restaurants while drowning in debt and financial stress behind the facade. These 7 signs reveal the truth. Count yours as we go. 4 or more. You're secretly broke regardless of income. Fewer than 4, you're building actual wealth. Let's start with the sign that reveals whether you've already mentally given up on ever building real wealth. Sign number 1, you're secretly broke. You've stopped believing you can ever be wealthy. You've resigned yourself to financial mediocrity. Convinced yourself wealth is only for lucky people, connected people, smart people. Anyone but you. This resignation is deadlier than any financial mistake because it ensures you'll never try. You don't invest because markets are rigged. Don't start businesses because you lack connections. Don't learn about money because that's for other people. Every belief becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. Believe you're destined for poverty, make decisions that guarantee poverty. 2 brothers, both 25 in 2017, both earned $53,000 from similar jobs. Brother 1, I'll never be rich. Rich people are just lucky or born into it. People like me don't build wealth. This is as good as it gets. Brother 2, I'm going to figure this out. I don't know how yet, but wealthy people weren't born knowing either. They learned, I can learn. 8 years later, 2025, Brother 1 earned $71,000, still says same things. I'll never be rich. Saved $9,000, total 8 years. Resigned to paycheck forever. Brother 2 earns $83,000, has $142,000 invested, on track to retire 15 years early. Brother 1 told me I accepted my financial fate at 25. That acceptance guaranteed the fate. My brother rejected the same fate. That rejection created different outcome. We had identical starting points. Different beliefs created different trajectories. I was right that I'd never be wealthy, but only because I decided I'd never be wealthy. Same family, same opportunities. Resignation versus determination. 8 years later, 9,000 versus 142,000. Belief determined everything. Reject financial resignation. You deserve wealth. Decide today you're capable of building it. That decision precedes every other wealth building action. Sign number 2, you're secretly broke. You only think about right now, never your financial future. Every dollar spent on temporary pleasure is a dollar that can't compound into permanent wealth. You choose vacation over retirement contribution. Latest gadget over emergency fund. Restaurant meals over investment accounts. You tell yourself you only live once or you'll save when older. This mentality destroys compound growth potential. Every month delayed is growth you never recover. 2 coworkers, both 30 in 2018, both earned $74,000. Coworker A lives for today. Every bonus goes to vacation. Every raise increases lifestyle. Thinks about retirement occasionally, but always prioritizes present enjoyment. Life is short. Coworker B balances present and future. Enjoys life but invests aggressively. Every bonus splits 50-50. Half fun, half investments. Every raise maintains lifestyle, invests difference. 7 years later, coworker A has amazing vacation photos, incredible experiences, $17,000 saved total, stressed about future, still working full-time. Coworker B has good memories, reasonable experiences, $127,000 invested, peaceful about future. Could retire early if wanted. Coworker A told me, I had better vacations. He's having better life. I optimized for memories, he optimized for freedom. My memories fade, his freedom compounds. I lived for today. He's living for tomorrow, and tomorrow arrives whether you prepared or not. Present pleasure versus future freedom. 17,000 versus 127,000. Same income, different time horizons. Balance present enjoyment with future security. Invest minimum 20% before spending on wants. Future, you deserves consideration. Sign number 3, you're secretly broke. Everything you own is financed. Car payment, furniture payment, electronics payment, jewelry payment. Nothing is actually yours because you're still paying for all of it. You think you're living well, you're actually renting your entire lifestyle. Every monthly payment is rent you pay for the illusion of ownership while building zero wealth. You focus on whether monthly payment fits budget instead of whether you can afford full price. This mental trick justifies purchases far beyond real financial capacity. 2 neighbors, both 34 in 2020, both earned $89,000. Neighbor 1, finances everything. Car payment $680, furniture payment $240, electronics payment $130, jewelry payment $90, appliances payment $110. Total $1,250 monthly in payments. Tells himself these are small amounts individually, manageable. But he's locked future income for years into past consumption decisions. Neighbor 2 buys only what he can afford cash, drives paid off car, bought used furniture cash, saves for electronics before buying, wears simple jewelry purchased outright. Old appliances work fine. 5 years later, neighbor 1 still making same payments. Upgraded some items, creating new payments. Never owns anything. Has $75,000 paid in installments past 5 years. Currently owns items worth maybe $12,000, net negative $63,000. Neighbor 2 owns everything outright. Same $75,000 went to investments instead of payments. Currently worth $118,000 after growth. Net positive $118,000. $181,000 wealth gap from financing versus cash purchases. Same income. Neighbor 1 told me, I thought small monthly payments were manageable. They were, until I added up 60 monthly payments across 5 years. $75,000 paid for things now worth $12,000. I rented my lifestyle at the most expensive rates possible. He owned his lifestyle outright and invested the difference. I have payment obligations. He has assets. Financing creates illusion of affordability that destroys actual wealth. If you can only afford it in 12 installments, you can't afford it yet. Save first, buy cash. True ownership builds wealth. Endless payments build prison. Sign number 4, you're secretly broke. You spend entire month counting days until next paycheck. Even earning decent money, by day 20, you're obsessively checking account balance, calculating how to stretch remaining dollars until Friday. You know exactly how many days until payday, you time bill payments around pay schedule, you decline social invitations, final week of month because you're broke until payday arrives. This paycheck dependency creates constant financial anxiety regardless of income level. Problem isn't earning, it's complete absence of planning and discipline. 2 office workers, both 29, both earned $64,000. Worker 1, lives paycheck to paycheck despite good income. Days 1 through 10 after payday, spends freely. Days 11 through 20, starts worrying. Days 21 through payday, anxious, broke, counting hours. Every month, same cycle, never breaks pattern. Always stressed about money despite making more than median income. Worker 2, built 3-month buffer. Doesn't know when payday is half the time. Checks account occasionally but never anxiously. Spends same amount consistently throughout month because buffer exists. 4 years later, worker 1 still counting days. 4 years of financial stress. Saved $11,000 total. Worker 2 peaceful about money. 4 years of calm. Saved $62,000 total. Worker 1 told me, I made decent money but lived in constant financial anxiety. The last week of every month felt like poverty. My coworker made same money and never experienced that stress. Not because he earned more, because he built space between income and expenses. I spent everything that came in. He created margin. I was trapped in paycheck cycle. He was free from it. Paycheck dependency versus financial margin. $11,000 versus $62,000. Same income, different buffer. Build 3-month expense buffer. You should never know exactly when payday arrives because individual paychecks don't determine daily stress. Sign number 5, you're secretly broke. Entire financial security depends on one single paycheck. If that income disappeared tomorrow, immediate financial disaster. No backup income streams, no investments generating returns, no financial safety net. You've built entire financial life around one income source, making you incredibly vulnerable to job loss, industry disruption, economic changes completely outside your control. You assume job is stable and permanent, so never develop alternatives. This creates dangerous complacency where you put all financial faith in something you can't control. 2 professionals, both 37 in March 2020 when COVID hit. Professional 1, $102,000 from single job, 0 side income, No investment returns, no backup plan. When company downsized in May 2020, complete financial panic. Unemployment covered barely half expenses. Savings depleted in 3 months. Had to take lower paying job out of desperation. Professional 2, 84,000 from job, 12,000 from rental property, 8,000 from dividend investments, 6,000 from side consulting. Total 110,000 from 4 sources. Same company downsized him too. But rental income continued. Dividends continued. Consulting actually increased as companies hired contractors instead of employees. Lost 30% income but maintained 70%. 3 years later, Professional 1 still recovering. Took years to get back to previous income level. Saved 19,000 since crisis. Professional 2 used layoff to grow consulting. Now earns 147,000 from multiple sources. Crisis made him wealthier. Saved 83,000 since. Professional 1 told me, losing my single income source destroyed me. I was completely dependent on something I couldn't control. He lost same job but had 3 other income sources. For me, it was catastrophe. For him, it was inconvenience. I built house on 1 foundation, he built on 4. When one broke, mine collapsed. His stood strong. Single income vulnerability versus diversified streams. 19,000 versus 83,000 post-crisis. Dependence versus security. Build multiple income streams. Investments, side businesses, passive income. True security comes from diversification, not dependence on one source you can't control. Sign number 6, you're secretly broke. You complain about not having money but refuse to learn how money works. You want financial results without financial education. Won't read books about investing. Avoid financial courses. Refuse advice from people who built wealth. You're terrified learning will expose how many costly mistakes you made, so you avoid education to protect ego. Rather stay ignorant and blame external factors than face reality that lack of knowledge keeps you broke. Every poor financial decision from ignorance costs thousands more than any book or course ever would. 2 friends, both 42 in 2019. Both earned 97,000. Friend 1, refuses financial education. Too boring, too expensive. I don't have time. Makes same expensive mistakes repeatedly. Never learns compound interest. Doesn't understand investment basics. Keeps money in checking earning 0. Complains constantly about staying broke despite good income. 6 years making expensive mistakes from ignorance. Has 22,000 saved. No investments, no growth. Friend 2, invest heavily in financial education. Reads 3 finance books yearly. Takes online investing course $400. Meets quarterly with financial advisor. Studies wealth building strategies. 6 years learning and implementing. Has 41,000 in high yield savings. 93,000 invested. Total 134,000. 112,000 wealth gap from education versus ignorance. Same income. Friend 1 told me, I thought financial education was expensive. My ignorance cost 112,000 more than his education. Every mistake I made from not knowing cost thousands. His books cost hundreds. His knowledge made hundreds of thousands. I was penny wise and pound foolish. He invested in learning. That learning multiplied his money. Financial ignorance is the most expensive ignorance possible. Treat financial education as absolute necessity. People building wealth invest heavily in learning. Your ignorance costs exponentially more than education. Sign number 7, you're secretly broke. You only discuss money during financial emergencies. Family conversations about finances happen during bill-paying stress, credit card crisis, when bank account hits 0. Never during calm moments when you could actually plan. You avoid financial discussions during good times because they feel unnecessary or uncomfortable. But by crisis time, you're operating from desperation instead of strategy, making emotional decisions rather than logical ones. 2 couples, both married 5 years, both combined incomes 93,000. Couple 1, only discusses money when problems arise. Bills overdue, fight about spending. Credit cards maxed, argue about responsibility. Bank account empty, panic about next steps. High emotion, 0 strategy. Repeat same mistakes because never planned during calm. 5 years of reactive crisis management. Saved 14,000. Couple 2, monthly financial meetings, calm discussions, review spending, adjust budget, plan investments, strategize goals, problems prevented through proactive planning, low emotion. High strategy, constantly improving through regular review. 5 years of strategic wealth building. Saved 107,000. 93,000 wealth gap from crisis conversations versus strategic planning. Couple 1 told me, we only talked about money when it was gone. By then, too late to plan, only panic. They talked about money before problems, prevented crisis through calm strategy. We were always putting out fires. They were preventing fires from starting. Reactive versus proactive. Panic versus peace. Crisis conversations create stress and poor decisions. Strategic discussions create growth and wealth. Schedule regular financial discussions during calm periods. Plan strategically before crisis forces desperate reactions. Wealthy people prevent problems. Broke people react to them. 7 signs you're secretly broke, even making 6 figures. Resigned to mediocrity. Living only for today. Financing everything. Counting days to payday. One income source only. Refusing financial education. Crisis-only money conversations. Marcus, earning $123,000, has all 7 signs. 417 in savings. Sarah, earning $62,000, has 0 signs. 47,000 saved. This isn't about income level, it's about financial consciousness. I've seen people making $200,000 who are secretly broke. People making $50,000 building real wealth. Difference isn't what you earn, it's how you think about and manage money. Count your signs. 4 or more, you're secretly broke regardless of salary. Fewer than 4, you're building actual wealth. You control this. Power to change is completely in your hands, but only those who act today build the tomorrow they deserve. Comment your count below. How many of these 7 signs describe you? Honesty creates awareness, awareness creates change. Subscribe to The Wealth Mind if you want more financial truth that exposes hidden poverty so you can build actual wealth. Because looking rich and being rich are completely opposite things.